like I say, about 8 years ago. So parents have been asking me for this drink a long time ago. For all sorts of reasons, I've noticed everybody's got their own awareness and philosophy about giving Shakeology to kids. Some are wary about all the elements in it. They don't feel comfortable giving that to their young children. And there's no right or wrong on that. Some of us will feel comfortable about it. Some of us won't. Some pediatricians were not comfortable with it. Some pediatricians loved it. So there was a level of complication that unfortunately people were feeling funky about it in their heads. Also, for me, is I noticed that the basics, and that's really what it was about for me. As I was talking to parents, forget about the herbs and adaptogens and all that. I noticed kids are not eating the very, very, very fundamental, the very minimum of what they need to grow up healthy. Most of the kids don't get. And that is worrisome to me, because you can never replace these first years of building their immune system and their healthy bodies, their bone structure, their ability to think and focus. Yes, you can work on it down the line, but what a blessing if you're given everything you need while your body is growing up. And so as I was listening to parents talking, that is what concerned me more than anything else in their diet. So this is really what the Daily Sunshine is a mega dose of all the basic fundamental elements that parents, for whatever reason, cannot provide their kids, whether it's from not understanding the importance of it, not knowing about it. Often it's behavior patterns that are given from family to, member families, from dad, mom to their kids to, there it goes, the whole wheel of ignorance, really. I think that's the major. I could go on into other reasoning why, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever. Actually, the one that is important that I think people that don't have kids might not understand is how difficult it is to feed our picky eaters. This is why it was part of the marketing for Daily Sunshine. I have one extremely picky eater. And I thought it was just me. You know how we think it's just us? Oh, nobody else. Everybody else is fine. It's just my kid. God, it's like the more I investigated, the more I realized that most parents have big challenges feeding 6 pieces of apples, 3 heads of broccoli, carrots, like, oh my God, it's everything. It's like zipping their jackets. Very often I make jokes about that. I cannot believe that it can take me up to 10 minutes just to zip his darn vest. 10 minutes and moving around, asking questions, annoyed at you, on and on. So the food thing is the same. It's so hard just to get them to eat it. And people that don't have kids don't understand, just make them eat it. No, it doesn't work that way. And on top of it, you have all sorts of other elements of your day-to-day life that sometimes gets you in a place where a million things are hitting at you. You have to multitask like a mad woman. Then you have your kid crying because he doesn't want to eat the thing that you know he should eat. You're exhausted, close to bedtime, and on it goes. So all these elements to me was the big drive behind finding a way to deliver these very important foods in your children's diet, and also trying to make it delicious, just like Shakeology, so that they don't fight you. If they could, please ask for it, so that they're getting their vegetable, fruit, fat, fiber, and some probiotic and a few vitamins that most kids are missing in their diets. Natural, non-GMO, organic, good dose of protein, some carbs, all the stuff they need. It's a snack that's really like a perfect meal. And in a way that's fun for both the parents and the kids to go through the process of ingesting it, right? Of making it and tasting it and smelling it and the way it looks. And because it's the basic fundamentals, whole food. It's basically whole food. Just like Shakeology is whole food, it's whole food. So, but it was also nice to make a shake that would have no scary words in it. all stuff that you recognize, your pediatrician recognize. If you're on medication, if your kid is taking medication, you can still check with your doctor, but it's whole food. There's nothing crazy in there, all right? Good crazy.
Absolutely.
So you can feel sort of calm about it as your doctor, because some doctors may feel funky about elements they're not familiar with. So this one is good. It's kosher, right? It's all easy to understand what's in there. And so that's the whole story of why it became important. And even more so when Mike and the team started showing me the figures of how, undernourished our kids are, truly undernourished.
Yes.
And that was horrifying. And it was it cinched the deal. It was like, wow, this is really needed. So there you go. That's my why.
That's awesome.
But my first why is always us. Colin and I are always sort of, what do we need? And then trusting somebody else out there also needs it. So I desperately needed something like that. Also, Shakeology, very often kids don't finish it at all. They have a little bit, but they don't finish the whole thing. So they don't get the whole dose. Yep. As opposed to Daily Sunshine, they drink the whole thing. It's designed for them. So they get everything that's on the bag.
That's just awesome. I have one question from Laura Davies, and that is, will we get Daily Sunshine in the UK soon?
You know what? I'm not the person to ask for that. I think I can write a little note, and I'm going to ask Mike. But as far as I know, here we go. As far as I know, I don't think right now, like in the immediate future, that it's happening. But I'm really not the right person to ask. I always have to go to Mike for those kind of questions.
Gotcha.
But I will do so in the messenger. Can you send me a little note?
Yes.
And that way it will be because I have so many. I will see you, and I'll get back to you with Mike's answer.
Definitely. Thank you.
Don't forget to do that. Otherwise, I look like a flake, but I don't want to be.
No, I will not forget. So one of the questions that I thought was not hilarious, it wasn't funny, but kind of funny, is I was asked a very relevant question from a parent, and that was, would this replace a vitamin, my kid's vitamin?
Oh, it's interesting. This is a question that I think that it's very personal. Like, who am I to tell you that what's in the shake will be all that your kids needs? I don't know your kid. I didn't do a blood test. I don't see his diet, the day-to-day diet, it's lifestyle. So that's something that you have to figure out with your doctor. You bring the shake to your doctor, your pediatrician, and you see what's in the shake. And together, because you know your child, you have all the background information, you can decide if it's sufficient or if it requires an extra vitamin, multivitamins, or just mineral. So it's an individual answer. It definitely gives you a foundation for sure, and we try to provide what's necessary, but we cannot speak to every single child out there. That's your job as a mama. So bring the bag and look together with your pediatrician what's in there and decide if it's necessary to add something to it.
Awesome. And that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, that's kind of, I didn't mean funny, haha, but it was a good question. It's
a very good question. And for some it may.
Right.
For some it may be plenty.
Right. So another question is, will there be more flavors if there is a demand for it?
Well, first we have to make sure there's a big demand for the Daily Sunshine itself.
Right.
Then if that does well, the ones that we already have, the marketing team and Carl will be the ones deciding that.
Very good.
I'm not in charge of these departments, but I do know that we get plenty of comments about the price of Daily Sunshine. And I always love to go at that one before somebody asks me or nobody asks me. Because, the Daily Sunshine it's got the same prerequisite as the Shakeology. Mm-hmm. It's the same hard work. It's the same source of no compromise on any of the elements in it. And that's never cheap. Carl and I and everybody at Beachbody, we never said, you know what? let's figure out the way to make super cheap products.
No.
We decided to make the best we could come up with, right? And Carl let us go to town with it. And then if it's in a place where, and usually it happens, meaning that the Shakeology and the Daily Sunshine, both of them came up with much more expensive way of creating the formula. We had to figure out ways to make it the best that we could with the most appropriate price we could come up with that kind of quality and potency and integrity. So the same thing with the Daily Sunshine. So I get asked that question, and I say, well, make sure that this Daily Sunshine is actually appreciated and desired, because we can't go anywhere unless we see that people are digging it, that it's functioning, that it's helping kids, that parents are utilizing it. So that I know is an important aspect of moving forward with, you know, where we ship it and the flavors.
Right.
But we all know, we're all very aware that we could use vanilla. Like we get, my son is the first one to ask for more flavors. So we get, and we know, and I know we're always ready. But the demands, the needs to be there. And that's not my department to know.
Right.
That's another question that, and they probably won't tell until they're ready to tell.
Yep.
Until they know for sure that it's happening. We're not going to send some information out there that's just guessing. You know, when we know that it's happening, then we talk about it.
Yep. That's perfect. So another question I have here is, how much fiber is in it? And I would add to that, what are the sources of fiber that are very specific for that function?
I think I should have brought the whole, usually I bring the whole little bag so I can read every single ingredient. But basically, a lot of what's in the Daily Sunshine, it's usually 4 gram or 3 gram. We're careful not to put too much fiber, even in the Shakeology.
Right.
It was very important. We had more fiber initially, and people had real digestive problems. We had to tell them to go easy because when your body is not used to fiber, which is most individuals don't have near the amount of fibers we all know we should have. Mm-hmm. So when you start adding fiber, your stomach reacts to that. It takes a little while for adjustment, and then you can add more and more. So the same thing went for Daily Sunshine. I believe it's 3 grams of fiber. I don't have the bag.
It is. I just had somebody looked for us, and the chocolate is 3 grams.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes from the food itself, and then we added a little bit more to make sure that it was the same, and it was the kind of fiber, you need soluble and non-soluble, so we always make sure there's a good balance there. So what was the other question?
Nope, just there was actually a comment, and it's, let's see, my daughter's pediatrician was very excited about the fiber and the calcium content.
Oh, good. And the vitamin D too.
Yes.
And I believe there's probiotics in it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. It's a complete package. It's just like Shakeology.
Yes, it's like the basic complete package. We didn't put bells and whistles, but we wanted that kind of reaction from a pediatrician. So basically what the team looked at is what our kids, in terms of vitamins, the minimum, what is it that they all suffer from not having in their diets? And this is why we went with the basics, and always based on whole food. So I'm glad that the pediatrician was happy. That's good. That's good to hear.
Yes. So where would Daily Sunshine fit in with grown-ups, with adults? Is there, uh-oh.
We love it.
Okay, I know.
Maybe. We love it. I didn't know that I was going to have it every day, but I do. It's the perfect snack for us as well. Come on, we all are also needing these same exact ingredients, these same fundamental veggies, fruits, good amount of fat, good protein, good fiber. So it's an ideal snack for adults as well, especially that it's very yummy. It's very sweet. So for me, it really has a dessert feel to it, especially if I add a bit of avocado, a little bit of banana. It really is like a Dairy Queen milkshake.
Yeah.
So I don't know to what aspect the person was asking. In terms of nutrients, it is all that good stuff that we all can use more and more of. It does help quench your need for sweet. It really does. Instead of a dessert or a late snack, that's pretty darn good if you want to have, something sweet and, nurturing, soothing, instead of going for a donut or anything else that would just not be good for you, but you really want something sweet and nurturing. That really does the trick. And I didn't think about that when I designed it, but it does. It's very helpful that way as a snack. And what was the other aspect of it? Oh, the flavor.
Yes.
Yeah. So to me, it's very useful because I personally, sometimes I have too Shakeology when I have a crazy day. I never have Shakeology, just the powder, right? For me, I really need to upgrade it with, I always put avocado, coconut oil, scoop of green boost.
Oh, wow.
I'll put almond butter sometimes. I really dress it up. So it's like a big meal. And sometimes I would have two because my days can be crazy.
Yeah.
But I wasn't always in the mood for two. Now I have my Shakeology, and if it's a crazy day, I know I can have Daily Sunshine, which is more like a treat, but I dress it up the same way, and it's a meal really. So that's how I utilize it, and that's how I've noticed many people are using it. Yeah.
Awesome. I've done that on more than one occasion.
Right. For some reason, people are confused about how different they are. But I think, I could be wrong, but I think most people that have both actually find how they have their own place.
Yes.
It's not confusing at all.
Right. That's exactly it. Let me see here. So basically was another question about the gummy vitamins.
What about it?
Big bone of contention. Just kind of comparing the two.
Well, if I was to compare, it would be impossible. There's tons of them on the market. I don't know which one you're talking about.
And it would be apples to oranges.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so much.
Yeah.
Who am I to know? I can't make a blank statement about gummy vitamins. It is a very easy way. I totally understand. Just like my purpose with the Daily Sunshine was to make it yummy so kids reach for it. I totally get the gummies. It's a great idea.
Yes.
But I don't know what's in it. I don't know the potency, the bioavailability. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Right.
I don't know your needs.
Right.
And
exactly.
It's not my cup of tea to compare and to dismiss anybody else's work.
Absolutely.
We all have to figure out what we like, what works for us. That's really the key here. What works for you,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just the whole food content. You've got everything that we need to know is on the back of that bag.
Yeah. And again, the Daily Sunshine is food. Gummies are vitamins, right? So they're very, very different, like you said. So almost different purpose here. I mean, with the Daily Sunshine, I really wanted to speak to parents and kids that could not get these elements in their kids' diets. So that was like it's a snack, but it's like a mini meal with everything you want. A vitamin is a vitamin. So they're not the same.
No.
But even if I had a gummy vitamins and you were asking me about another gummy vitamins, I would not comment.
Right.
I would see what works for you. Right?
Absolutely. Very, very good question. And are we moving toward, or is there any talk of, or are you interested in working to come up with more of a meal plan type, a meal prep type thing for children?
Dennis answered that because I was not aware of that. Let's see. It's a short answer, but let me see. Yes, it's right here. What did the guy say? We're currently exploring possible ways to work portion fix into kids' meal planning, but nothing is set in stone.
Right.
So it's floating around.
That's hard. That must be, especially with the, like you just said, the dynamic of children. And it's not just children. It's not like they can go out and go grocery shopping for themselves and pick out their own
That's
food.
right. But
And
everything that works for you is really what, Beachbody is fantastic is we really talk about balance. We try to keep all our programs balanced. Whatever the focus is, it's always kind of balanced. So you are teaching your kids to have vegetable, to have fruits, to have clean food. You are teaching them to have a good source of protein. Like all the principles that you are learning are the very same principle that is good for them. The challenge with kids is to make them eat it.
yes,
They can totally get it. It doesn't mean they'll put it in their mouth. So, this will be an interesting project. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. But obviously, they've been discussing it. So who knows, guys?
that'd be great. That
What
would
I
be
do like about what Carl does with the whole company as well is I'm noticing as I'm learning more and more is that they really try to make everything fit well. So the new bar is the right
yes.
amount of calories and ratios that you could fit into a snack meal plan. So I'm sure that any new element like that is meant to mesh well with everything else that's available on the platform. And I think sometimes that gets a little bit challenging.
I can't imagine. Especially as it continues to grow.
That's right. So that people don't get confused.
But that is something that I know I totally appreciate. And I know that a lot of my coaches and even people who are really coming into as as my clients, they appreciate the flexibility because they can move from one thing to another and it's pretty much the same, but they're really gaining an understanding of the way their bodies work.
That's right.
Not just through fitness, it's through nutrition as well. And I think it's easier for people to pick up one or the other. I think it's kind of hard sometimes to pick up both, but they're finding that freedom within what is offered through Beachbody, which is just phenomenal. And then you add the kids coming in with the daily sunshine and all that. It's just, it's a great package. It's just a no-brainer. What would you say would be one of the most important talking points if someone is interested in daily sunshine or, for a lot of us as coaches, it's real easy to talk about Shakeology because, for me, it changed my world. I had a horrible issue with my digestive system and literally Shakeology straightened. It was the only thing. And I had it for 8 years prior to me starting Shakeology.
Wow, you were one of the very first.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, getting parents to understand the importance of it's, like I said, it's easy for us to explain Shakeology because we're doing Shakeology, we're drinking it. Whereas some of us may not have children or may not be utilizing Daily Sunshine yet because it's brand new. What would you say are the most important talking points?
Well, I'm not Carl. I don't have snappy one sentence answer. It's not my forte. But what I do here is really important. It's almost like you answered yourself. Is you were in deep shit. You had challenges, and it was painful. And you said Shakeology saved your life. I would rephrase that. You saved yourself, and you you found tools that were appropriate for you. But the daily sunshine to me is it's avoiding those kids to grow up being in trouble with their health and their digestive system and their immune system. It's to avoid what most of us have to step in and sort of get ourselves out of it. So to me, it's it's almost like what's the word in English? Shoot, I had in French, I had it, but it's basically it's like an insurance policy. A tool that helps give your children the basic fundamental that are required for your children's physical bodies to be able to grow strong and healthy with a healthy immune system. It's the basic ABC of what they need. You cannot not have fruit, veggies, protein, healthy fats, fiber, probiotic, and calcium, vitamin D. It's the basic that they need. So it's an insurance policy because most of us have a hard time to get them to take it. And most of us know it. We're riddled with guilt, but we don't know what to do. So that's what I would call it. It's that you're giving them the ABC to be healthy, to not grow up obese, or not grow up with a bad digestive tract, or not grow up with an inability to focus. Like, it's not guaranteeing anything, the same way that eating healthy 100% is not guaranteed, but you sure know that if you do that, your chances are better that you'll be good, right? That you'll avoid a few trips to the hospital. So it's just the fundamental ABCs of nutrition. It is what your kids need, and most kids don't have it. Don't have it. It's insane what I discovered as I was shown all the research. It's a no-brainer to me. I don't even understand why people have a hard time to talk about it.
Right.
But it is a no-brainer. And again, it's like you said, it's more challenging for parents, for adults that don't have kids, to understand how difficult it is to simply put a jacket on them and get them to eat right. So, I don't know. Did I answer? Did I give you a little?
Yeah. You know what gave us the answer is your passion. Is that it's one of those, it's definitely a passion project. And well deserved. I mean, kudos, amazing. When it came out, I was just absolutely thrilled, because prior to where I'm at now, I was a teacher for 15 years. So not only do you raise babies, but you see what is going on in lunch boxes. And
that's right. I have a little school, and I created a little school. And, these are affluent-like people, that they're doing well, and certain understanding of health. They all exercise, or everybody's got certain awareness. And yet, when I see some of the food that shows up at our school, it's really shocking. So you can see the need for something that's yummy, delicious, that they find fun to ingest, and that has all that good stuff, because it's impossible to have them eat the same good, healthy, perfect lunch and dinner and breakfast every day. It's just impossible. And they are bombarded with ads and other kids with the yummy, super bright yellow, deliciously sweet thing that pops, that makes a sound, that sparkles. Like, it's nonstop. And they're bombarded with it from every angle. So making them eat their broccoli when their friends brings these pop fish orange thing, it's so hard. And the cafeteria is pizza, and on and on it goes. It's so hard for them. I don't blame them, but it's a good way to reinforce what is right without the pain with it.
It's almost like appropriate fashion for your children.
Right.
It really is. And that is what I found with my daughter, is it's almost like lunchtime was a fashion show about, so-and-so had this and that. Well, then she would bring her slices of avocado, right away, everybody was like, it's green.
That's right. Green. Yeah, they deal with judgment, right? Starts really early and never ends. So, it's a good way to educate them too. Use that, talk about what's in it, get them to understand why it's in it. It's a good way to educate them very early on. And this is why I have the shaker too, to try to make it fun for them.
Love the shaker.
And if all they have is water at school, this is designed, as opposed to Shakeology, which most people will want to dress up a little bit. This one is really sweet and delicious all on its own with cold liquid, whatever cold liquid you want. It doesn't need any dressing whatsoever. And because of its sweetness, you can actually add stuff in it and they won't taste it at all. FYI. It's a good place to hide a lot of stuff.
A lot of spinach.
Take advantage of
Drop it right up.
For you as well, actually. You can really hide stuff with that one. So it was designed so it could be fun and playful and make them feel independent. And that if all they had was water, at least before their pizza at the cafeteria, or their French fries, or their macaroni and cheese, and their donuts, at least they can have, you say, you know what, buddy, you can have your pizza on Fridays, but have your daily sunshine before, and they feel like they're winning twice.
Absolutely.
So, it's an insurance policy really is the word here. You want to have that, have this first or have this after. And they never feel punished by it. They're totally happy. So it's a good tool. It really is.
Yes. And I love how you say, bring them to the back of that bag.
Yes.
Get on the computer together and Google some of that stuff, just like I did with the bag of Shakeology.
Right.
That's exactly how people become a champion for what's on the back of that bag, because that is absolutely what every little body needs.
Yeah. And it's very powerful to have them look and read that it's not just you saying it, because, husband don't really like when you're the one saying it. They have to hear it from someone else. Same thing with kids, right?
Yes.
So to go on a computer and have a neutral source telling them how good all that stuff is, what's in it, it's very good for the self-worth and understanding what they're doing for themselves. And they don't get that enough. The pleasure of taking care of their beautiful bodies, understand that they're responsible for this body. That will be the only bodies they have for the rest of their lives, and they're in charge of it. Absolutely. And so teaching them that, this ownership,
powerful.
How do you want to treat yourself? Like, what would you give your doll if you had to feed her so she's healthy and strong? Teaching them that you should be proud, because they will be laughed at. There'll be kids that will make fun of it, and learning to understand the why behind your little daily sunshine is potent as well. And it's a good start of conversation about health and well-being early in their lives.
Phenomenal. Absolutely. And when Chelsea Rosner here says, every single day, all I hear is shake, shake, it makes me feel like I'm winning.
Oh,
and that is good. Yes, that is what it's like. I know so many times we're headed out the door, and exactly. I always keep a packet in my purse. I always stop at a convenience store, like you said, and get she likes the organic milk. So she's got different types of milks, the almond milk and the soy milks, and things like that make it creamy and yummy. So she's does gymnastics, and it's great before, it's great after. It's
oh my God, yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Oh my God, yeah. And you can do you can psych up the carbs.
Yes.
When she does pre, you can add protein when she does post.
Yep.
It's really good. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good to know.
Phenomenal
stuff.
Yeah,
me too. It's a really good tool for late snack. When he's not feeling too well, he needs nourishment, but he's not in the mood to have a real meal. That's a good one. He got really sick at some point, and the only thing he could eat was a daily sunshine when he was starting to get better.
Yes.
So that was good. When he wants to have a big bowl of pasta, and my son doesn't do well with just a big bowl of carbs, then I make him have the daily sunshine. I add some avocado in it. So that gives it more fat, more protein, so he doesn't have the same reaction from the bowl of pasta. So I don't have to say no to pasta. It's like goes on and on trips, on rides. If you don't want to stop, just have a little shake. It's good when they're hungry. And Danny very often will eat everything. Right now he's about to be 10. They eat like madmen. So he eats everything, and then there's nothing, and he's bored with food. Daily sunshine. I could go on and on how I utilize it. It's just good stuff.
It is. It's phenomenal. And we cannot, you're just a champion for children, a champion for, like you said, this Shakeology, it's not like you were trying to figure out the cheapest way to get from A to B, and you continuously you don't stop. It doesn't stop. You're still working, and you're still trying to figure out adding more.
That's right. It's adding or subtracting or replacing or balancing differently as we are approached by a different company or discover something different that excites us, or a certain source is not quite as good as it used to be. We never keep things that are not as good as we need it to be in terms of potency and quality. So if something suddenly is not testing well, we are constantly moving with what's going on. So the shake is not a set in stone kind of a product, you know. It is
No.
open to getting better and better, and it's the same thing with Daily Sunshine.
No, that's great, because our bodies run on chemical reactions. I mean, that's what food is in our body. It causes a reaction, and it's either a good reaction or a not so great reaction. So
That's right. And emotions as well, which is part of the thing that people may not realize. And I don't think I've ever discussed that. But, you know, this fight that kids have before they eat something healthy, when they get into, ah! or, you know, annoyed or frustrated or so pissed off, and it's a daily occurrence, those chemicals reactions do not connect well with healthy food, right?
correct.
So I
Yeah.
remember thinking it would be so nice for them to really understand that this sweet, delicious drink is actually healthy food, to connect that healthy does not mean yucky, that you can have it all.
That's right.
So, you know, that's another one that whenever I would have these fights with my kids, it was terrible for me. It didn't feel right.
Right.
And eventually it exhausts you, and you resent the event. And I don't like my kid resenting food.
No,
Bad thing. It creates
No.
problem down the line about food.
definitely.
So all that matters. The pleasure of it matters as well.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. And it's funny because one of the very first Beachbody programs I ever purchased was Slim and Sick.
Oh,
And
yes.
there was, back in the day, I'm dating myself now. But
I was testing a prototype. I was in the class with Debbie. I was doing it while she was working on it.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But there was the little card that came with that, and I'll never forget it. And it said, "Stop eating like a toddler." Stop, you know, and I that has stuck with me. And to a lot of my challengers, I will say, you're going to have an internal temper tantrum. Your body is not going to want to switch over to this other food,
Oh,
because,
yeah.
you know, those chemicals will keep you trapped. They'll keep you wanting more, and they'll keep reeling you in. But I promise you,
you can have a Daily Sunshine when it gets hard, and
Yes.
that helps.
Yes, it does. It does tremendously. And your body transitions and starts craving the good stuff.
That's true.
Even more.
That's
So
true.
that, yes, the Daily Sunshine around 3:00 for me is a big deal.
Yeah, it does help. Oh my God.
It keeps me running to the candy jar, or, you know, you just have just one. No, it doesn't have to be like that anymore.
That's
So
right.
I appreciate that. That's amazing.
I'm glad.
So, oh, good. So Laura's excited. She's like, huge pick me up. So this is great.
That's good.
So I'll put it out there. Does anybody else have any other questions for Isabelle? Or we're just so honored, Isabelle, and so thankful that you're here.
Thank you.
It's phenomenal. And boy, what you do.
No, we all do. I swear, it's a very special company. It really is. This is not easy stuff. The same way that you discussed, you know, how challenging it is for you to keep on track and to do what you know you have to do. It's the same thing as a company. I'm proud of everybody at the company. I'm proud of Carl, of Darren. We have an amazing R&D team, marketing. Everybody is growing, and there's always an evolution with the team to stay with that intent, you know, what we wanted to do from the get-go. We encounter a lot of challenges out there in the world as well. It's not easy. I always say that your relationship to Beachbody is like a marriage as opposed to a love affair.
Yes.
Love affair is quite easy, and it's always high and fun and perfect in the beginning. But a marriage requires commitment and understanding the deep why, the deep reason for this partnership. And we have been working together. It's really it's really teamwork. It really is. And, you know, we need each other. It is a marriage, and it has its ups and downs and its challenges. But I think that from you and from us, we are very committed to where we are heading. So we are going north, and we're always keeping that. And there's no compromise.
No.
And it's so rewarding on so many levels. You know, seeing these before and after pictures, seeing your kid doing a workout, seeing the changes that are real, thousands and thousands of people. It's, that's where it's at. It's finding something that is selfless and selfish at the same time, right? We
Absolutely.
help
Yes.
ourselves, and through that we help others. And that's a beautiful arrangement right there.
We're going to have you back for another team call just on this right here.
Oh, I would love that.
Oh my gosh, because that is, I have never, again, I feel like, and I mean, I know that Laura is right there with me when I say you could write a book, right? Laura, I mean, you could write a book with what Beachbody has shown me as just me, that one little person, but the trickle effect is humongous. I could write a book on just when I started out, and then so many people saw the evolution before I saw it.
Yes.
And then I got hooked up to my Beachbody family, from my one coach to this organization that was just a one big hug. And that first time I went to Summit, and it was just,
oh my God,
300,000 people just there celebrating each other and celebrating fitness and nutrition. And what does that equal? A happy, healthy life, not just for you, but for your family and the people that are impacted just in your presence. It changes you. And it's a phenomenal thing. It's something that is very unique. And you would think it wouldn't be, because there's so many people involved. And how does it happen over this computer? But it does. It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal.
I remember that the first time I went to a summit, because I don't do all of them. And I remember the first one, and I sat on the stage and looking at thousands and thousands of people whose life are enhanced through the tools we provide. And also the empowerment, knowing that all these individuals had overcome great odds, that we were just a part of enhancing their ability to trust and believe in themselves, which is really what a real helping hand is. Not pretending that without us you would be doomed forever, which is not the truth.
Correct.
But that we were able to offer something that resonated and indeed helped you trust and believe in yourself. And something that happened in my kitchen, right? Something that not in a million years. I mean, you know my story of Shakeology, but never did I think all of that. But it had helped me. It had helped hundreds and hundreds of my clients. I believed in it, but in sitting down, and my partner, Darren, the team that I knew without which we couldn't have done this shake or Daily Sunshine, the product. It was amazing, that first summit. I remember it was not amazing about me. This is what I love. It's more like you just said, they're reminding us of the power of one.
Yes.
We keep thinking we're not important, and sometimes that renders us incapacitated. I don't know that word in English. It makes us believe in helplessness.
Yes.
Not understanding our power, our ability to help, that it always matters when you help. Always. First yourself. And we forget constantly. We're being told so often from the outside that without blah, 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 we can't do blah, blah, blah. Or you need to be this, and this before you can do that. But you need nothing. You just need to start. You just need to start. And sitting there on that stage, I remember looking at all these people thinking, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I remember it had nothing to do with me, which felt so good. It feels so good when it's not always about you. It's so boring. But it's the power within you. It's the power of love and caring and a desire to be of service for yourself and others. That power, you activate it or you don't. And that power I saw was activated in all of us there. And I was proud of that.
Yes.
That was an amazing thing. And I think that the Team Beachbody and the platform is about that. And that's pretty darn cool.
That is the definition, I would say. If you could take everything what you just said, that absolutely defines Beachbody. And it's funny because I remember I met Laura Mendenhall and for the first time face to face, and I'm thinking, just like Autumn Calabrese, she's so little. How can someone that
Potent.
little be so powerful? And because she literally brought me to tears on more than one occasion and just made me finally see that I did have more to offer than, it does start with one, and it did start with me, and I didn't understand that. So like I said,
Well,
we're going to
also,
bring you back for another call.
Also, I love talking about that stuff, actually. It's really a passion of mine. Also, what you said, the identification on your physical body, which got you to not take care of your body to begin with. So it's loving and empowering our bodies, but not for vanity, enjoying the vanity. It's part of being a human, but that it's not what you are. So you were, like when you say she's so small, but it has nothing to do with the size.
No.
And even the workout, the nutrition, we're not trying to tell you, you'll be happy because you'll look hot. It's not about that. At least it's not about that for me. When I look at what we are, it's about that universal within power of loving and caring for yourself and each other, and creating tools and a service that's saying, take care of yourself.
Yes.
Care about who you are and what you are. Mm-hmm. and teach that to your family as you're caring for yourself, and then extend that to a bigger family and a bigger family, which is the truth of you are one, right? We are one. And when you're happy and healthy, you tend to be a nicer person, right? Learning not to compete and not to have envy, and instead of envy of you learn from. And I think that the Team Beachbody and the platform is really teaching that, not to compete, but to enhance each other, to be our best.
That is one of the greatest things I loved right from the get-go. Once I became a coach and once I started getting into this, all these trainings and all this amazing information was not to be kept in a box because I get to win and you get to lose. There was none of that. It was, let me show you how I got here, because this is why I do this, is to make your life just as rich and amazing as, I've managed to make mine. Let me show you, because it's going to look different for everybody.
That's right.
But it's what a gift. It's just, everybody has been a gift in this organization.
That's great. And it comes with challenges too, I see a lot of comments. I love those tough comments, because it's like they forget that it's a part of it is your job.
Yes.
They forget that, like any job in the entire world, you will need to dedicate yourself to a certain degree, to accomplish and do certain things to a certain degree, to whatever degree is good for you. But you can't show up late at an office every day. You can't do your job half-assed every day.
Yep.
There's all sorts of things you need to live up to in order to get a certain degree of satisfaction for yourself and for the people you work with and for. So sometimes it's interesting. I say, well, it's the same thing. You still have to show up.
Yes.
But you show up for yourself first, which is an amazing thing to learn.
Yep, definitely. So, Laura, I don't know if you're here, if you're with us. She's got a little one that she's awesome. Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to add?
I'm actually still on video mute because I'm in a dark room with my 4-month-old, so you wouldn't be able to see me anyways. But I have so enjoyed this. I am a mom of 3, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a newborn. And Daily Sunshine is a huge part of my kids' lives. We're trying to instill better eating habits, and goodness gracious, you would think they would adopt what we eat, but no. They're like, give me some cheese, give me some, you mentioned the Lunchables, which is like my nemesis right now because they're fighting for them.
Yes, because all the kids think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And most of them is such crap.
Right. And they're
it's your nemesis.
It is. They're like, all the other kids get toys in their food. I'm like, it's called a Happy Meal, baby. Like, let's move on. But we love Daily Sunshine. So I'm just grateful for your efforts to make sure that it was pushed, to make sure that it was done with quality, because it makes me confident as a mom in, many ways that I'm not confident as a mom. If I'm giving them that at least once a day, I know that perhaps they'll be regular, perhaps they'll, those things are really important in conversations that moms we have. So I don't have any further questions. I'm just grateful for your time. I'm grateful for your wisdom and truly your presence, because it's not just that you are the creator and brains behind Daily Sunshine, but your entire presence and passion to really help the family is really inspiring.
Thank you so much. And I need to always say that there's a lot of other brains with me, working with me always. So I don't want to take the credit, but I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And Gretchen, thank you so much for spearheading this. Thank you for befriending Isabella so we could, have her talk to the team. I did record this. I'm going to post it in our team page as well.
Beautiful. And say hello to your girl.
Yeah. I will.
I'll be watching for the videos coming up. Don't stress about it. Let her go nuts.
I'm going to let her go nuts in the kitchen. Yeah. You wait till you see that. She makes her own Lunchables.
Good. Let me see what she's up to.
Okay. I will do.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And there was a question I forgot, but there was something that somebody asked at some point, and I said Messenger.
Yep, I've got you, and I'm going to do that as soon as we get off.
I already forgot the question. So
it was regarding the UK.
Yes.
Yep, I got you. I got you, girl.
Good.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.